Welcome to a Pinch of Basile. We are back for our big second week. I got to tell you, we made it through Monday, yesterday, which was a true pain in the patoot. I got to tell you, Monday was crazy. I was tired. I was exhausted. We made it through last week's first show with my wonderful, sweet, beautiful guest, Carlomita. And evidently you guys liked it and you came back. What the hell's wrong with you people, for God's sakes? But we are back, and I got to tell you, I've always wanted to do this. This has been something special. I wanted to do it the right way. I just didn't want to go ahead and do this and, it'd have been meaningless just to do it and just throw anyone on there. Some people will do that. I won't. I wanted great guests. And so here we are. And if you're joining me right now on Facebook, thank you so much. It's great we see your responses. My co-host, ladies and gentlemen, the woman who is my true hero. I love her to death, Janice Hermsman, and my engineer, Craig the Wonder Boy. And I'm just going to use your name because I know you owe a lot of people at the IRS, so we'll just put that to the side. So we're just going to say Wonder Boy Craig, and we'll be monitoring. Janice, how are you, sweetheart?
I am doing fine, except, your wonderful co-host is having a terrible time with Facebook today. Maybe they've banned me. Perhaps.
Well,
that's
you know what? I've seen the sites that you go on, and I would not be surprised.
That's what it is.
There's no two ways about it. When you see Janice and you see her in person, you're sitting there going, sex kitten number one, no two ways about it. This woman is in the wrong places on the sites.
You are so funny, Basil. That's why you're the comedian, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And for those of you who are listening right now, listen, you can call in at 844-790-8255. And not to let you forget this, but hey, we're going to be on the air every Tuesday from 6 to 7 p.m. New York City time. It's Eastern Standard Time for us in the U.S., but sometimes those people in Australia, in Europe, and everything goes, what is EST? It's Eastern Standard Time, New York City time. So that's what we're going to be on. And listen, I'm really excited. And if you're always following me, and I'm sure you are, you can always find me at Basile Fans. That's BASILEFANS. BASILEFANS. That's one word put all together on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. I try to make it as sweet, as easy as possible for all of you. And Janice, what's going on, sweetheart? You doing okay?
Yeah, I'm doing okay, except I can't see you right now because of the fact that Facebook has banned me. So I am not going to be able to see the comments from our guests and our but I think that Craig probably can, so he can help us out there too. So the heck of a co-host you have here, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You are wonderful. You are wonderful. You have all the answers.
Yeah, well, all but this one. I'll have to talk to Mark Zuckerberg, all right?
Yeah, evidently. I can't believe that something happened. I'm sure you didn't get banned.
I don't know.
For those of you also who are listening right now, a lot of you have been asking me, listen, Annapolis, Maryland, I'll be at the Rams Head on stage. August 24th, I'll be in concert. One show only. August 24th, in concert, Annapolis, Maryland, Rams Head on stage. Love this place. Go to ramsheadonstage.com or call 410-268-4545. And I got to tell you, we got an amazing guest this time, Janice.
Yes, we do. We do.
Yeah.
He is a wonderful guy, and I've learned a lot about basketball.
Yes, you certainly have. NBA superstar Kosta Koufos is with us tonight. And about the next half hour, he'll be on here with us. He plays for the Sacramento Kings, and he was big time over at Big Ten over at the Ohio State University. Kosta Koufos will be joining me on the second half of the show. And just a true sweetheart off the court. And so is his beautiful mother. I got a chance to meet his mom, and she is unbelievable as well.
Well, he was very pleasant to deal with. I have the opportunity of getting to chat with your guests a little bit before the show, so I appreciated his professionalism, I guess I would say.
Yeah, just a cool cat. A lot of basketball players, a lot of people, a lot of ego that's involved. And
no, I didn't get that from him at all.
Yeah. Nor did I, to be quite honest with you. And I just really dig the guy, and loved his mom. His mother, very close to his mother, and just a very, very cool cat. And really, it's an honor to be actually, it was an honor just to kind of hang out with him. He came up to me. He goes, "Hey, man, I'm a fan of yours." I said, "Really?" And as I'm looking up to the skies, the guy is, I think, 7'1".
He's 7
I'm
foot, yeah.
Yeah, I'm 6'2", and I thought I was tall. This guy makes me look like I don't even want to say, I'm like a child. I'm a man child next to this guy. And just to go ahead, and I love, and he's got just a sweet disposition for a cat like that. I really do. But, the one thing is, before we got to go to our break in just a touch, you and I have been going back and forth, and some of our wonderful fans who have been listening have been asking me, "Hey, listen, we don't know if we like the Pinch of Basile," and you and I were going by, do we like Pinch of Basile, or do we go with Basile Live? So
is a Pinch of Basile too much of a, like, you think it's a food show, or is Basile Live better?
Could be. Look, at first, I think it sounds a little bit like a food show. Basil, Pinch of Basile was also the name of one of my non-Greek DVDs. It was a special that I cut in wonderful Erie, Pennsylvania, beautiful area up there. And so I was just kind of like, what do we do? Do we call it Basile Live, or do we call it Pinch of Basile?
Well, I have one vote right here in the studio for a Pinch of Basile. So there's vote number one.
I wonder who that could be.
No,
Janice.
2 votes. No, I have 2. No, I have 2 guests sitting here listening to your show right now. I do. And
oh my God.
How about that?
They didn't ban you?
They didn't. They came in. Go figure, huh? Yes, and so I have 2 votes in the studio. And what do you say, Mike?
Basile Live.
Basile Live. So we have 2 for a Pinch of Basile and 1 for Basile Live.
Yeah.
And they'll be getting a divorce later.
Oh my God! Listen, no divorces during my show. I do not want to be the issue of any type of domestic disputes that go on in the family home. I will not have that. And I got to tell you, I have enough issues without having to deal with that guilt in my face. But listen, before we go anything else, we're gonna have to go. We're gonna have to take a little break. These things called sponsors, but everything's a lot better when you add a pinch of basil to it.
There you go.
This is America Matters Media
on AM 1180 KCKQ,
a Lotus broadcast station. The power of radio since 1967.
Hey, we're back, and you're listening to Basile Around the World. Hey, I like that one too. Basile Around the World. Better than Pinch of Basile, better than Basile Live, Basile Around the World. Or, we used to say, Basile's fat behind all over the block. So we can do that one as well. It's up to you guys.
We have another vote online for a Pinch of Basile.
Well, they don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah, sure.
So I got to tell you, hold on for a second. There we go. I got to tell you, I'm going back and forth. Basile Around the World. But anyway, listen. For all of you who are listening right now, tune in to TuneIn Radio app. You can find that on America Matters online. Listen every week at americamatters.us. That's America Matters, one word, America Matters, MATTERS.us. Then click the on-demand player on the right side of your screen. About 15, 16 seconds. So we got to go. This is unbelievable. This thing goes just really quick. I got to tell you. But I have to really tell you, I'm just excited about this. This is great. And I think we figured out some of our issues, did we not?
We have some, I think. Right, Craig?
We have figured out all of the issues at this point in time.
Except for the issues you have.
Really? I have more issues than God knows. All right.
I hate that word, issues.
Mm-hmm.
Real issues. Listen, my friends used to say, I got more issues than Sports Illustrated. Boom, boom. Thank you. All right. So, no, listen, I am excited. But everyone who's listening right now, and those of you who are on Facebook right now, thank you for joining us. You know I love you. I'm excited to introduce our guests in the next bottom of the hour. Kosta Koufos, NBA superstar, Ohio State player back, I think it was 2007, 2008, 2009, and maybe 2010 as well. Just a tremendous guy. He'll be on in about 15 minutes. Again, big thanks and kudos to Calomita, who did a heck of a job last week, and her fans were just off the wall. But you know what? The one thing I love about this show is Janice and I continue always talking. We always talk. We always goof off, see what's happening. We talk every day. And I told her it's going to be a difficult thing with me because, I'm really difficult to get on the phone. And who's calling who? I call her all the time, for God's sakes. I'm like a jilted boyfriend. I mean, we haven't even gone out for pizza, let alone being a boyfriend type thing. But she has been fantastic. And she sends me some of the funniest things. Janice, I got to tell you, the headline news,
yes.
Unbelievable.
Isn't it great? I love the headline news.
Just go ahead and read. Do you mind reading this?
Oh,
read this
okay.
The first one, please.
I'll set you up. Did you see the recent headline, "World to End in 3 days as the blood moon set to light the sky on," well, it was a few Fridays ago for a couple of hours? What do you think?
Okay, so, let me see. So 3 days was going to end after the world.
A couple weeks ago. Yeah, after the blood moon.
This happened a couple of weeks ago.
Yep.
Oh my God, we're in the afterlife. No wonder why we're having connection issues. We're in the afterlife, for God's sake.
There you go.
You'd think, you're close to God up here and you'd have better connections, and we don't.
That's right.
Evidently, the big guy downstairs has all the power.
There you have it.
I'm not very excited about that. Yeah, I don't know. I remember when I was in college, and there was a group of people who were saying, hey, the world's going to end. The world's going to end. And I'll never forget that the day after the world was supposed to end, I walk up to the guy and said, what happened? Nothing happened.
That's right.
What can I say? The other one, which is hysterical, I got to tell you, you sent me this one. Christopher Robin. Now,
yes.
This is the new movie that's
Winnie
out
the Pooh.
right now. Winnie the Pooh. Christopher Robin is banned in China. Banned, I say.
Poor Winnie the Pooh and Christopher Robin.
Oh,
I'm so sad.
But you got to ask why. Why is it banned?
Well, I actually, Lisa just asked me that. She said, why is he banned? What happened?
Because the bear of very little brain is being compared to their president, Xi Jinping. So...
Poor guy.
And listen, we thought we had issues with Trump. I got to tell you something. When you are compared to a fictitious talking bear who has issues, really, what? I have nothing to say. I don't know. What do you say about that?
I don't know.
Here I am, and I'm looking at this, and I'm sitting there, this poor guy, and his wife is going, come here, Pooh. Come here. It's okay. Ooh.
Well, as a matter of fact, if I can just steal a little of your thunder, in 2015, a picture showing Xi in a motorcade alongside an image of Winnie the Pooh in a toy car was called China's Most Censored Photo by Political Analysis Company. So there you go.
and no one discusses the vice president, Tigger. No one discusses Tigger. No one said a word about Tigger. It was only Winnie the Pooh that had the issue.
There you go.
So Tigger, listen, may take over after seeing he winds up leaving. It's going to be Tigger, and why not? And who knows? Eeyore. Is it Eeyore? What was it?
Eeyore.
Whatever. Listen,
I have to teach you.
Yeah.
You have a child. Come on, you know better.
I have two children, and my favorite one that I used to read to them. You remember the Bernstein Bears?
Oh, I have a whole stack of Berenstain Bear books.
Oh my God!
My daughter loved those books.
And if the Bernstein Bears, my daughter would tell a lie, I would always pick that one to tell the truth by the Bernstein Bears, and she would cringe. Well, I read the truth. She would sit there. Why do we have to read this? Because you lied to me. If you lied to me, you're going to get the Bernstein Bears. That's all. Tell the truth. So that was that. And then now, this is the other one. A dead man is balking. Court rejects Romanian man. He's actually alive. Yes. And they considered him dead now. His wife registered him as dead. The court won't honor his request because he filed it too late. Well, for God's sake. And so they see him. No, this is me. I know, but you filed too late. You're just dead to us. You're dead to us. We don't want to see you no more. I'm sorry. This is Romanian law. Even if you come up and talk to us and we see you're alive, you filed late. I think these people come from the IRS. I got to be honest with you. I really do.
That's crazy. I can't believe it.
You know who else could? They could possibly have worked at one time for the people where you get your driver's licenses. You never.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's always a possibility. Let me see what we got.
He says he's not sure whether he's divorced or not, too. He said that he's not sure if she's married to somebody else. Wow. Nobody will tell him because he's dead, right?
What do you say to a dead person? Nothing. You don't say anything
right.
to a
you
dead
can't
person.
Say a word.
They used to be able to hear, but not so much when you're dead. That's all I can say. But let me say, during his interview, the guy said he was deeply emotional, starting off by saying, "I think I'm going to cry." I never knew dead people could cry. I got to be honest with you. I realized it's something new. Going on into a voice rage and his desire for revenge against his wife, who now lives in Italy under another assumed name. So I'm assuming she's not using that name anymore. Okay, that's very interesting. Elderly German man escapes nursing home to attend a heavy metal concert. And what geriatric individual would not want to go and see a Headbangers Ball?
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
They're wearing their Depends. They're happy. They're okay. They go into a concert. They drink. They have lost their mind. I think it's good. I really do. Go into a little mosh pit and you're good to go.
What I thought was really interesting about this is that they said he escaped from the nursing home, like they're holding him hostage there, right? Holding him in prison.
I think this poor guy, this poor bastard is just sitting there going, I got to get out of here and go to a Headbangers Ball. That's what I want to do. How bad is it at that place that you have to go and hear heavy metal music at the Headbangers Ball to get away? Only in Germany. Okay. Let me see. It's to honor the guests they win. With some sports news. Okay, probably have not heard about. And they have been doing this for a while. The 10 weirdest sports you've probably never heard of. Have you looked at this at all?
I have looked at this. I always look at the material I give you.
A wife carrying contest. You carry your
wife. Yes. But some men complain about getting their wives off their backs. Oh, humor.
That's the other game. That's the next game called Divorce the Spouse. It's a nice. I like that game. It's actually a good game. I love it.
Yeah, this is done in Finland of all places.
Wife carrying.
Yeah,
Nice.
Wife carrying. The next one is even better though. Look at the next one. Chess
I love
boxing.
Yeah. These are two guys in a ring playing chess. And the guy who I guess loses winds up gets I guess a free open hand to kick the hell out of someone.
You didn't read the article, I can tell.
No,
chess boxing. They go a round of chess and a round of boxing. So they go like 4 minutes in boxing, and then they sit down and do the cerebral thing with the chess. Come on. Everybody can do that, right?
Yeah, especially when you have an elbow to the ear.
Exactly.
It's the first thing I'm thinking about. I wonder if I should castle now and go ahead. Yeah, that'd be just perfect.
Oh, yeah.
Cheese rolling. Now, I am a huge cheese guy. I really am. Feta now, later, tomorrow, always feta. Rolling it down some type of a hill, not so much. But, hey, it's the people over in the UK. God bless my fans over in the UK. I love you, but you have some serious issues.
That's right.
Truly do. All right, let me see. Extreme ironing.
Yeah, who irons anymore, right? Where's my dryer? Oh, you do. I figures.
Actually ironed. I mean, we got that. We got egg throwing. I've been doing this for years, to be quite honest with you.
The egg throwing?
Absolutely. At every cop car I can. No, I say that.
Shame on you.
Never said. No. Underwater hockey. So when the ice melts, bam, you're set to go. You got underwater hockey. Shin kicking. This is shin. They kick you in the shins. I don't know.
Oh, that's terrible.
Oh, my God. Then the famous toe wrestling. All right.
I like that one.
Toe, really? Not so much. Toe jam. I know it's
I do
out
thumb
there.
wrestling with my grandkids.
Yeah, this is not going to work, Janice. I just don't like this. Toe wrestling.
I think Kosta Koufos is going to love it, though.
Toe wrestling? Yeah, his toes are like 7 feet tall as well.
That's right.
But listen, folks, that's about it for some of these, and we got to get going right now. So, listen, we're going to take a break. We're going to be right back. Everything is better when you add a pinch of basil to it.
It sure is.
This is America Matters Media on
AM 1180 KCKQ.
a Lotus broadcast station. The power of radio since 1967.
Hey, everybody, this is Basil, Pinch of Basile. Basil, Herb, and Rosemary's son, back on the air. I got to tell you, I'm excited. And a lot of you have been wondering and asking me questions via Facebook and everything and say, hey, man, I want to ask Kosta this. I want to ask Kosta that. That's great. And we're excited to have that for you. I got an 800 number, 844-790-8255. That's 844-790-8255. And, this next guest, I got to be honest with you, I'm very excited about. I got a chance to meet him at the AHEPA convention about 2 years ago in New Orleans, and I turn around and I walk into someone's belly button, and it was Kosta Koufos' belly button, and he was there, and I'm looking up, I'm like, oh my God. He goes, hey man, you're Basil. I said, yeah, what's going on? Next thing you know, we became buddies. We started talking, and been a big fan of his, ladies and gentlemen, from the Sacramento Kings and from the Ohio State. Ladies and gentlemen, I guess Mr. Kosta Koufos. Kosta, what's going on, brother?
Not much, Basil. I appreciate you having me on air.
Are you kidding me, man? This is great to have you on the air. Look, I'm 6'2", standing as tall as I possibly can, maybe even on my tippy toes. And tell the audience how tall you are, man.
7 feet tall, 2.13 meters, and 84 inches. You got to mix it up a little bit. So you got to try to get the different system in there as well.
So when did you start really getting your height? When you were in junior high school, high school? When did you start grabbing some height?
I was a big baby. I was born 11 and a half pounds, and I just grew at a steady pace. So I grew. I started hitting growth first when I was fourth grade, and started growing 2 inches pretty much every year in a steady pace until I hit 7 foot. So I was, my fourth grade teacher, I was as tall as my fourth grade teacher, which was pretty funny. So it was pretty cool. I had a lot of people that used to tease me growing up, but I was very fortunate to be tall. I always liked being tall growing up, and I took it with a grain of salt and joked around with the people that used to make fun of me with my height, and I was like, hey, that's all right.
Yeah, I play for the NBA. What do you do?
Oh, yeah.
Oh man, that's great. I got to ask you because I know, with my size and everything too. I'm an ex-ball player, so I play ball, but my chest and shoulders are huge, and then my waist was not as big when I was playing. So I was like a 56, 58, jacket, but my waist was a 36. So man, how the hell do you wind up getting your clothes for a guy as tall as you? I know they got a lot of. You got to have a lot of your suits made and everything. But that was the first thing I thought about, man. Where the hell do you wind up getting your suits done?
So I got Taylor here, Steve Taylor in Canton, Ohio. So he does a lot of my measurements here. So he's a local guy, a really great guy from the church, and he does all like the greet people in the community, stuff like that. So he's done my suits, ever since I got in the NBA. So it's been, his suits are flawless. They fit perfectly, and they're light fabric, and very sturdy suits. I've been very lucky.
Oh my God, I think that was the biggest thing, and I was kind of laughing about this because I talked to your mom. I was fortunate to do a concert at your mom's organization and stuff like that, and we started talking about you, and that woman just glows, man, when she talks about you. She's truly. She loves your entire family, of course, but she goes, you really maintain a very, very even keel, even demeanor about yourself, and that's why I think everything about you. And that's the one thing that kind of turned me on about you. And the one thing that I kind of, I know you have this YouTube that you do. It's Kosta Koufos, and that's Koufos. Go to that YouTube channel, and you can see some of the stuff that you've done. Just great stuff, man. I loved it.
No, I appreciate it. It's starting out. First off, shout out to my mom. I wouldn't be where I'm at today if it weren't for her. So, she's
God
in Greece
bless,
right now, so I don't know if she can hear the podcast. But we're out to Greece. My niece, we're having fun in Greece right now. They'll be back in time. And I know you're going to have your show in mid-August here in Holy Trinity, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going back again. Yeah, I'm going back again. I'm going to do a concert over there. I'm excited about that. Yeah, the one thing, too, that a lot of people don't know, and I think they should know, I think they really should understand this, is that this man gives back. He gives back. You went back to your old high school, and you have this Little Eagles youth camp at Glen Oak High School where you went to school. Tell us a little bit about that, man. I think that's great.
Oh, no, thank you. So it's for the kids. We have, third, third through fifth graders, and then we have middle school kids the second session for 1 week. Kids get to come in. They have supplies of balls and shirts and prizes at the end, and all the money goes back into the basketball programs for the high schools and stuff like that. So they receive whatever the camps generate, and the coaches get a little something as well. So I mean, it's good for the kids to have fun, get out and play, be more active, and the basketball program benefits too. So it provides a good foundation for the basketball team as well, and being able to do that, and then have the 2 full courts out there for the kids to go out in a safer environment, to have the 2 full courts and stuff like that, goes a long way for the kids.
Oh, absolutely.
Growing up, it was always my dream to do something for the community with through a basketball sense. Obviously you do stuff for the church, and my father too. God rest his soul. He passed away, but he was a pediatric oncologist, so I wanted to do something with that as well. So we're instead of giving money for the wedding, we're just be like, hey, donate to the Akron Children's Hospital, where it's not going to cancer research, actually going to the kids directly, where they'll be able to have an Amazon wish list, and they can get whatever they want for their birthdays or when they're there, to be preoccupied during chemo, to have something to get their minds off of something. So just nothing huge, but it's something that little stuff goes a long way, and I'm a firm believer of that. And hopefully it becomes contagious with other people, and it can spread.
You're a good man. You're a good man. You're taking your fame and your notoriety, and you're doing something positive for the youth, and it'll build better building blocks as time goes on in this country and for all of mankind. So that's great, man. I love. Now, what I don't love, you wound up playing at OSU, the Ohio State University. Listen, I wasn't good enough to play over there, so I'm a little bit jealous. Even though my cutty underneath my shoulder pads always had OSU defense, evidently I wasn't good enough to play. You were, but not only were you good enough to play, you wound up being a superstar there as well. And man, how was it playing for Thad?
Just being there in the environment of Ohio State, it was truly a dream as well. Growing up, you watch certain teams, being recruited. I was very fortunate to be recruited by a lot of schools. But being a local guy, you want to play for the local school and play for the local crowds, and that was the biggest thing. Whoever was there coaching, that was awesome. But being there and playing in front of the Columbus fans and being closer to home, it's you want to make sure it's you get more motivated to do that play in front of the home crowd every single night.
Oh, there's no two ways about it, man. And, it's always cool to have your family and friends and everything go down maybe an hour and a half to get down to Columbus and see the home games. Yeah. That must have been a great treat for you, to be honest with you. I think some of the things I was laughing about, I get such uptight when people talk about how much money Basile made, how much money this made. My God, he pulled so much money in that concert, he did that. Does it ever bother you that they announce your salary and what you make? And I think to me it's always been, I was always uptight about what people, the only people who really know me and what I make is my wife and my assistant, and that's it. Everyone else always wonders, and they think I'm this, whatever, and I'm not. But does it ever bother you that when you wind up, they announce what your salary is and stuff? Does it ever bother you?
Oh, honestly, I don't. I've never even thought about it. For the way I live my life. I live in Canton, Ohio. Like the city, I love Canton, Ohio, because everybody's friendly, peaceful, and I mean, if you saw the way my lifestyle, it's nothing glamorous. I mean, I used to live in my mom's house for 8 years, and now that that I'm about to be married, their parents have bought the house right next door. For future possibly for a so-called guest house, so we just live here temporarily. So I mean, I have one car. I don't have millions of cars and that. Just for me, I just live a low-key lifestyle. I don't have a burning desire to have like the high-end stuff and stuff like that. That's not how I was raised. I was very fortunate to be raised in such a positive atmosphere, because my mother did a great job with my sister, my brother, and myself with. Just try to just be humble, be happy with what you have had growing up, and God has blessed you with certain things, and enjoy a little bit and enjoy some life. But there's more things out there than just when it just comes to money and whatever. You enjoy the moment, and whatever comes at it, you just make the best of everything.
Oh, there's no two ways about it, man. I really dig that answer because I'll tell you what, in your industry, there's a lot of humble guys and there's a lot of guys who you just shake your head and you went, okay, whatever. And you kept your senses about you. And I guess that's the one thing that kind of always drew me to you. I was always impressed with that. I remember, I took advantage of my relationship with you and my nephew, Dimitri Brown, who my sister-in-law's son, rather.
Yeah.
And you were sweet enough. I said, hey, man, he's a huge fan. And bam, next thing you know, you sent him sneakers, you signed him, and he thought for about 10 minutes I was the greatest thing since sliced bread. And then after that, he put your stuff on the shelf, and it's only Kosta Koufos. No, Basile, not so much. Uncle B, not so much. But, Kosta Koufos. So, listen, I'm going to give you his wish list for Christmas, and good luck. Both of you can also kiss my butt. All right. Anyway, no, man, there's a lot more stuff we're going to be talking about. And, one of the things that I do want to discuss in a little bit is your love, like my love. We're not going to discuss it this segment. Next segment, we're going to be discussing coffee, because without my coffee, I ain't nothing. So I just want to let you know that.
Yeah.
And we'll be discussing coffee in just a bit. But ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to A Pinch of Basile. There's a couple of things that Kosta was involved in, and that was the organization called the AHEPA, the American Hellenic Educational Progressive Association. They do a tremendous job. And yeah, that is a Greek organization, but everyone can join in. And I work and try and raise money for a great organization called the Service Dogs. It's a HEPA-servicedogs.org. It's a great organization. Donate some money for all of our people coming back from the theaters of war, and they need these support dogs. They're very, very expensive. And for those of you who are listening as well, I want to thank the HEPA for raising over $100,000. Oh my God, I think they raised more than $100,000 over to the victims over in Greece with the big fires, and also for the victims out in the West Coast. And we'll discuss the West Coast with you too, Kosta. But for you out there, 844-790-8255. You're listening to A Pinch of Basile with yours truly, Basile.
This is America Matters Media
On AM 1180 KCKQ.
a Lotus broadcast station. The power of radio since 1967.
Oh my goodness, you are back. Back, I say. You are back with A Pinch of Basile. That's right, my personal podcast, baby. I'm here with my favorite guest that we've had. I got to tell you, because I'm an ex-jock. Kosta's a great, true jock. Kosta Koufos. And we've been talking a little bit the NBA, talking a little bit of his personality. A lot of y'all know he plays for Sacramento Kings. Big-time star over Ohio State University as well. I'm sorry, I keep saying Ohio. It's the Ohio State University, and it's actually kind of cool. I just did a show in Columbus, Kosta, at the Funny Bone, and it was great. Loved the Funny Bone. It's in the Eaton Center area, and I was making so much fun, of them. And then there's a great community college there called Columbus State. And Columbus State, which I always tell people is a tough school to get into because you got to make a left on Spring Street. So that's the only joke I got for them. So it's actually pretty cool.
They laugh or not?
Oh, yeah, they laugh. Of course they laugh. It's tough to compete with OSU with a small little Columbus State, for God's sakes. But Janice, I was talking with Janice earlier about you. Janice, are there any questions you personally want to ask Kosta?
I really enjoyed watching your video and learning, even though I'm not a basketball fan, sorry to say. And I'm honest. I'm an honest person. Come on.
Yeah, you are. I'll give you that. You are an honest person.
But I
Everybody has their own thing.
But I enjoyed your video. So even though I'm not a basketball fan, I enjoyed watching that. I enjoyed learning about how you train. I mean, there are a lot of things, and so I think that's an aspect that you might be able to, get other people involved. People like me.
Yeah, no, definitely. You're talking about from the video aspect?
Yeah, from the video aspect. I think that's a great thing. I know you just recently started that vlog, right?
Yeah, no, you know what's crazy? Shout out to all the bloggers out there, because that's vloggers out there. Correct myself. Sorry about that. The bloggers out there, it's tough. It's tough to do.
It is.
You have guys. You got some very famous people that have done a great job with their YouTube videos, and they make a lot of money, but they love what they do. And to have to do Final Cut Pro 10 or whatever platform you choose to do, and to do that all night and then to vlog every single day, it's actually a grind. It is a grind.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you did a great job on that video. So I would recommend to anyone who's listening to go and check that out and learn more about Kosta and also about, what they do and how they do it. I just thought it was really interesting. Maybe I'm weird. Who knows?
No, not at all. Because I was finding curious what you guys have to go through as far as soon as you walk into training camp. Do you usually go in already at tip-top shape, or do you want have a couple of extra pounds you want to get rid of? What usually happens, Kosta, when you walk in for training camp?
I think everybody's different. For me, I just keep in great shape the whole year because I think it's easier to do that. I love working out every single day. Don't get me wrong. I wake up 7 a.m., work out 7:30 to 11. So 7:30 to 9, I'll do basketball workouts, and 10 to 11. Between how long it takes me to get to the gym to the weight facility, and then I'll do that strength conditioning for an hour and a half after that as well. So it's a steady regimen for the whole summer. So once you do that early in the morning, you have the rest of the day to do what you need to do, whether it's helping mom around the house or some other business stuff on the side, and it makes the day go by faster.
Do you, with playing at such a high level, you're playing against the best of the best, not only in the United States and North America, but around the world. Is there any one guy who gets under your skin that you hate playing against and he plays you tough? And listen, we're all friends at the end of the game, right? So, but is there anyone that you kind of like, oh, God, I hate playing against this guy?
Honestly, I have never had encountered a player like that. The way my mindset is, it just you put the blinders on, you take care of business. There were some guys before, like Ron Artest when I was younger. He was really strong and really aggressive, overly aggressive to the point where it was like, relax. But that's why he was one of the best. You know what I mean? So you have to give him credit when credit's due. Like that's how he played, and it's just what it was. You got some of the younger guys coming in. They're trying to make their mark, and you have to respect how hard they play, but. Some of the guys, some of the younger guys, they'll go in for a rebound, let's say, and they can't control their bodies, and they just jump into you, and that's a recipe for disaster when it comes to an injury. So you got to be careful with some of the younger guys when they're coming in, just to protect your body a little bit. You don't want to get hurt. You want to play hard, play efficient, and lay it out on the line, but play smart as well. Yeah.
And you know what? Listen, you mentioned Ron Artest. Hard. Man, I remember when I used to watch basketball big time, with the old ABA. I'm going back in the day, and I remember watching Dr. J. And the way they played, and it was almost like an art form, the way they would cut around and do things. And then I also love the big guys, too. I love the way Detroit used to play back in the 80s and the early 90s. It was mean basketball. Yep. And I love that. I love when I see people. The one thing I could do, I couldn't shoot for crap. I couldn't lay up for crap. I couldn't never jam the ball. I was, too big to jam a ball. But I can lay one hell of a screen, and you're going down. And, that's the one thing I could always do. Dribble, throw the ball down aside and lay the screen, and that guy, whoever's chasing, is going to go down. And that was the only thing. And I love physical basketball, and you also play some physical basketball too, dude. You can't be a wimp out there. In no way do you play it that way.
No.
But I got to get back to this one word that you said, that it was a grind. And speaking of grind, I am a coffee freak. And I got to tell you, I love me some coffee. And I heard you're a big coffee drinker yourself.
I am. I'm guilty of that. Before every game, I'll get an iced coffee, a plain black iced coffee before every game, and it feels great. It's a great routine. A little bit of coffee every single day is good for you. It's a natural thermogenic. So, it's just one of those things that, obviously you can drink too much, and there's been days where I drink 3 or 4, and I'm just jittery. I can't go to sleep. But on a good day, I'll drink 1 in the morning and then maybe 1 in the mid-afternoon, and then call it quits. So it's been a good and bad habit at the same time. So.
Right.
And there's nothing better than a Freddo Espresso Glicol on the beach in Greece. So.
Oh God! The thing is, the Greeks have a thing. I got to be honest, Janice. We have a thing called Greek coffee, and it was so funny. If you drink Greek coffee, Ελληνικό café, you drink the Ελληνικό café, and after you drink it, you flip the cup over. And my grandmother can read the. It's almost
it's like reading
tea
the tea leaves. Yeah.
Absolutely, same thing.
Yeah.
And my grandmother would sit there and she goes, and she always wanted like a good fortune, And I remember I was drinking this coffee and it was never a good fortune. She made me drink another one. I drank 4 cups of this Greek coffee. I was 7 years old, for God's sake. I didn't sleep the whole month of November. I was out. I was completely gone. But the Greek coffee, man, if they have the proper amount of kaimaki with the bubbly stuff with the sugar in it, But I'm a huge freak for coffee. When I read that, and tell them where you get your coffee from.
Tell
that South American coffee. Where do you get it from? Is it Costa Rica?
Costa Rica. That's what I tell them. Costa Rica.
Costa Rica.
Come on.
Every time I go get my coffee, they were like, "What's your name?" And I'll be like, "Joe," or something that's easy to write down. There was one time in the coffee shop. No, I'm honestly, like, I was in California. When I was in California, it was the day before the game. It was on the game day, and I had my name written on it. They were like, the lady kept mispronouncing my name, and I was like, it's fine. And she was there for 5 minutes. Like, how do you pronounce it? I was like, Kosta. She's like, Costa. I was like, no, Kosta. She's like, she said, I'm not joking. And she said, Kosta. I'm like, oh. I'm looking at my phone. I was like, I got to go to the game. There's traffic. If I'm late because somebody's mispronouncing my name, I'm never going to go to the coffee shop again. So I was like, lady, just think of Costa Rica and Monica Rica. And she was like, Costa. I'm like, there you go. Thank you.
Mother of God.
So ever since then, I'll put Joe, Bill, Bob, something that's easy to remember.
Anything that's not too hard to read. Oh my God, that's why. I go through the same thing with my name, Basil, Basile. You throw the E at the end of that name, Basil, it confuses the living crap out of people. Is it Basile? Is it Basile? Is it Basile? Is it Basile? I said, it's Basil. And my mother changed my name because it was the height of the Cold War. A lot of Russians were in the news, and everyone thought we were Russian, right? So my mom goes, well, I'm just going to change the name from Vasily to Basil. She took the V off, put the B on, and the only thing was, and she forgot the E. And I'm like, what were you thinking? She goes, that was the problem, Basil. I was drinking the night before, and I wasn't drinking. Perfect. My mother was drinking during pregnancy. This explains a lot. Oh, man, real quick, because I heard you're getting married, and I'm sure you're excited about that.
Yes, I'm very fortunate. Her name is Eleni. We're getting married December 1st. We grew up in the same barrio of Canton, Ohio. So, I mean, we have a lot of history. We was at the same church. She played a little bit of basketball, too, so that's a plus always. But, she's a good girl. She comes from a good family, got a great heart. She's a hard worker, and most importantly, she's Greek, too, which is awesome.
Oh, that's wonderful. Listen, it's so much easier to marry someone of your own background. I'll tell you why. Nothing racist is involved, but it's true. Because I always thought, my mom would always say, listen, Basil, if you're going to marry a Greek girl, it's okay. That's great. If you marry someone who's not Greek, how do you explain the reason why we eat the eyeball of the lamb is for good luck? And I'm like, I said, I'm done. Kosta. Listen, folks, I want to thank. Go ahead, Kosta.
Oh, no, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, because we got to go. We're against a real tight hour right now. We got to get the heck up. But I want to thank you so much for coming out, man. You are the best. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you go to Kosta Koufos, Koufos on his YouTube. Check him out. Kosta, thanks so much for being part of the show, brother.
No, thank you, guys. I appreciate it, guys.
Thank you so much.
Take care, my brother. And for all of you who are listening, you are listening to A Pinch of Basile. And I'm here with my friend, Kosta Koufos, who's a wonderful guest. Listen, I want to thank you all so much. All of you have been fantastic. We'll see you soon. Go to basillive.com.